Markiplier, one of the most influential figures in the digital era, has officially stepped into a new chapter of his life, a chapter that millions of fans across the world have been waiting to witness for years, as the 36-year-old creator, whose real name is Mark Edward Fishbach, finally tied the knot with his longtime girlfriend, Amy Nelson, ending a decade-long love story that had been quietly building behind the screens, through the noise of fame, success, and the ever-shifting culture of the internet. For years, Markiplier stood as a symbol of creativity, hard work, and persistence in the digital landscape. But behind every camera angle, every upload, and every carefully edited moment, there was a quiet presence. A partner who matched his creative energy with balance, grace, and calm. And that person is now his wife, Amy Nelson. The wedding, held privately on September 20, 2025, became public only weeks later when the couple revealed it on October 7th, confirming what millions had already suspected from whispers and clues scattered across social media. And when those first photos surfaced, the internet erupted. The images weren't just photographs, they were symbols of something more profound. The blending of two creative forces who'd walked together for 10 years, navigating the intensity of online fame, the vulnerability of human connection, and the quiet strength that comes from loyalty in a world built on constant attention. Mark captioned his post with a simple yet powerful line, 10 years and counting. Going to go for the world record or die trying. A statement that wasn't just romantic, but deeply characteristic of him, mixing humor, sincerity, and an unshakable drive to keep pushing limits. The first image captured the couple cutting their wedding cake, their smiles wide and genuine, dressed in timeless white, radiating a calm, unfiltered happiness that no viral trend could ever replicate. In another, they stood close, their eyes locked in a moment that needed no explanation, no script, no performance. Amy Nelson, radiant in a white gown with lace detailing on the bodice and balloon sleeves, embodied elegance without excess. Her look was classic, luminous, effortless, and her choice of soft rose tones, a sheer veil, and natural makeup only amplified her authenticity, something her followers have always admired. Markiplier, known for his clean style and confident composure, matched her energy in a white tuxedo jacket with black trousers and a red bow tie, a perfect mix of boldness and tradition. Together, they didn't just look like a celebrity couple. They looked like two real people who'd built something true, something earned, something that could stand the test of time. Amy's own caption on her wedding post read, "The whole point is never clearer than when I'm with you." And for those who have followed their journey from the beginning, that line hit deeply. It was a reflection of everything that defines their relationship. Clarity, balance, love grounded not in performance, but in mutual respect. Amy, known online as Peebles, is not a background character in Markiplier's story. She's a creator in her own right, a graphic designer, animator, and creative mind who has worked across multiple mediums, including Twitch streaming, ceramics, and production. Her work behind the scenes in Mark's projects, including his upcoming horror film Iron Lung, shows her quiet yet essential presence in his creative empire. Fans know her not for loud online antics, but for her authenticity, her art, her simplicity, and the way she complements Mark without losing her individuality. Her Instagram, where she shares pieces of her daily life, design work, art, dogs, and coffee, feels genuine, like a window into a life lived with purpose, not pretense. Over the years, Amy has built a following of nearly 400,000 fans who appreciate her understated aesthetic and unfiltered honesty. Their relationship began back in 2015, long before Markiplier reached his current level of fame, and that's what makes it resonate so deeply with fans. They've seen the evolution, from early gaming videos and humble beginnings to global success. And through it all, Amy remained a steady constant, away from drama, away from the chaos that often consumes online celebrities. Theirs was not a love born of publicity. It was built quietly, patiently, through shared creativity and understanding. Their first public appearance together at VidCon 2016 marked the beginning of fans recognizing the woman behind the scenes. The person who not only stood beside Mark, but helped him stay grounded while the numbers climbed, while the audience grew, while the brand became global. For years, fans speculated about their engagement, noticing matching rings in separate posts, whispering theories that neither confirmed nor denied. In an era obsessed with exposure, their decision to stay private was almost revolutionary. It wasn't secrecy born of distance, it was protection born of love, a reminder that not everything needs to be content. When they finally confirmed their wedding, it didn't feel like an announcement, it felt like a gift to the people who had supported them, a closing of one long chapter and the beginning of another. What makes this story more powerful is not just the romance itself, but what it represents in the broader culture of digital fame. Markiplier is not just a YouTuber, he's one of the architects of modern content creation. With more than 37.8 million subscribers, he's become one of the highest-earning, most respected creators in the world. But even with that level of influence, he has always carried himself with humility, introspection, and an understanding of what his audience connects to most: authenticity. His career has not been without challenges. He has faced health scares, emergency hospital visits, and the physical toll that comes from years of pushing creative and emotional limits. But every time he returned to his audience, he came back stronger, wiser, and more grounded. And Amy was always there, not for the fame or attention, but for the man behind the camera. Their story reflects what many fans crave to see in this generation of creators: real emotion, real balance, and proof that love can survive in a world that constantly demands performance. Markiplier's wedding is not just a personal milestone, it's a cultural moment in the creator economy, a reminder that even those who live their lives in front of millions still value privacy, connection, and peace. It's easy to look at Markiplier and see the wealth, the fame, the millions of views and merchandise sales, but behind all that is a human being who has built something lasting through discipline, empathy, and authenticity. As of 2025, his estimated net worth is around $45 million, with yearly earnings between $10 and $30 million. And yet, through all that, he remains deeply grounded in his values. His income comes from his YouTube channel, brand partnerships, creative projects, and ventures like his clothing line, Cloak, co-founded with Jacksepticeye, and podcasts like Distractable and Go My Favorite Sports Team, which show another side of him: humorous, reflective, and self-aware. What's remarkable is how he manages to balance all of it: creativity, business, and personal life, without losing the authenticity that built his fan base in the first place. The numbers are impressive, yes, but the heart of his story lies in how he's used that success not to distance himself, but to grow closer to his audience. And in that sense, Amy's presence has been vital. She's not just his wife, she's his anchor, his collaborator, his quiet supporter through years of evolution. Together, they've built something rare in the digital age, a relationship that exists beyond algorithms, beyond headlines, beyond speculation. The wedding photos, the heartfelt captions, the way they spoke to their audience, all of it reflected the same tone Markiplier has maintained for years: honest, humble, and deeply human. And that's why this story hit the internet like a wave. It wasn't because people were desperate for gossip. It was because fans felt genuinely happy for someone who has given them joy, comfort, and inspiration for over a decade. In a time when celebrity marriages are often treated like content drops, this one felt sacred, personal, untouched by the machinery of fame. Every detail, from Amy's gown to Mark's caption, spoke of intention, love, and quiet pride. Their choice to delay the announcement for weeks shows that this was about them first and the world second, a rare act of self-prioritization in a culture built on immediate sharing. The internet celebrated not because Markiplier got married, but because it reminded everyone that even within fame, it's still possible to find something genuine. For creators, it's a lesson in boundaries. For fans, a reminder that behind the screen, their heroes live full human lives. And perhaps that's why this moment resonates beyond fandom. It's about growth, commitment, and the beauty of balance. Markiplier, the man who once recorded Let's Plays in his apartment, has grown into a global name, a brand, an entrepreneur, and a storyteller. Yet in that evolution, he's managed to preserve his humanity. and Amy's presence has been part of that preservation. Their love story, unfolding quietly since 2015, has now become part of YouTube's living history, a story not of spectacle, but of sincerity. 10 years, countless projects, moments of vulnerability, and now a marriage that solidifies everything they've built together. Their dogs, their art, their projects, their privacy, all of it paints a portrait of modern partnership that defies the chaos of fame. This is what endurance looks like in the digital age. Two people choosing each other over attention, over noise, over validation. The world may know Markiplier for his humor, creativity, and energy, but now they see him in a new light, as a husband, as someone who has taken all that passion and channeled it into something timeless. Amy's role as producer on Iron Lung only deepens that creative bond.